They've been caught and released, demanded release by us, by our troops over there, by our government over there, saying, hey, look, NATO forces, we're getting them out of there. There's not enough proof to hold these guys. They got out after we caught them. They were released. We were ordered to be released. They came back. They killed more of our guys. John finally had said, enough's enough. He ordered his men to shoot, kill, that's it, over and done with, and move on. Basically sums up the case. And he in turn was charged with premeditated murder.
People are going to kill you. They should kill them.
I
don't see what's wrong with that. They're enemies. They're enemies.
Didn't fall within our rules of engagement, so.
Well, that's it.
Highly decorated soldier. I believe that was his 5th tour. A man of, I could honestly say I've probably heard from at least 30 soldiers that they've said, I owe my life to Master Sergeant Hatley. He brought me home. And yet he sits at Leavenworth.
Wow.
Yeah, but see, that he saved more people, and just because he killed an enemy, I don't understand that. He fought. I mean, he's out there to kill people. The other enemies that are going to kill him first.
That's right.
Other people first.
Was alcohol involved?
Nope.
Okay.
No, there was no alcohol, there was no drugs, there was no outside factors other than the fact that, you know, Master Sergeant Hatley didn't want any more of his men killed. And so he basically decided to say enough's enough. Outside of the rules of engagement and outside of us being politically correct on the battlefield, you know, that's enough. You know, we have another case that I talk about frequently only because of the fact that it proves several different points of ours is Private First Class David Lawrence. He was sentenced, I want to say about 9-10 months ago.
Yeah.
He had been telling his command over there, something's wrong with me. I hear voices. There's something wrong. That he was given Ambien and his gun back and said, basically, suck it up, get back out there. And admittedly, the Army had admitted that during his court-martial that they were, in fact, an equivalent in civil, in basically civilian terms, that they were low on staff, that they didn't have enough fighting power out there, so they would keep drugging him up and sending him out there. Well, when that didn't work, they brought him in, changed his meds, sent him back out there, but instead of putting you on the front line, we're going to have you guarding one of the bases, one of the kind of like a detainee bay out there on a U.S. base.
Okay.
Where they had one of the head Taliban leaders there in this holding cell. They had interrogated him. He had been there, and I'm not quite sure how long, but he was in the deck of cards. And I don't know if a lot of people remember, but right after 9/11, we had this deck of cards within the first year that went into accordance of how badly we wanted these guys and how much influence they had over the Taliban and these insurgents that were surrounding particular areas. Well, he was one of them. And David Lawrence snapped. He popped the door. He blew the guy away and sat back down.
Wow.
There was no love lost. Of course, now you look at the rules of engagement, and he didn't pose a threat because we had him detained. So therefore, it was a bad thing. He got convicted, and he's now serving his 9 years. Was it politically correct to do that? No. Is it something that he should have been held to as a higher standard as a U.S. soldier? Absolutely. Is it something that anybody as an American that's lost a loved one to the Taliban or one of these insurgents is going to sit there and say he did wrong? It's not going to happen.
No.
It's just not going to happen.